Okay, you guys, hi. I'm on my phone, so I actually can't I can't actually see you guys or anything like that. But I've been gone for a while. Oh, hi Snap Turtle. What's up? Yeah, I've been gone for a while. There's a story behind it. But I decided this is going to be really, really casual. One, because I'm on my phone, because I just want it to be kind of lazy. Two, because there are going to be kids running in and out of this room. So yeah, it's going to be super casual. Yeah, it looks like you do have a wrench. Where have I been? That's a really good question. Oh, wait. Okay, y'all. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, you guys. My kids are doing an online course, and they're doing Q butters. So hold on a second. I'm gonna be right back. Yeah. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Am I like the worst human being ever? I'm so sorry. So, like I said, my kids are doing their online course, and Q Butter is big on communication. I have to tell you guys, I've been meaning to work in like an advert for his institute for homeschooling parents, and I've done really bad at that. And again, I'm going to preface this by saying this is a casual live and people will be walking in and out of this room, so I just apologize in advance. But I wanted to come and talk to you guys because I know I haven't been up here much. Anyway, it's a godsend because obviously I still do my homeschooling regimen, but it's really useful because it gives me a break during my homeschooling. And so I appreciate that. Anyway, he's a stickler about communication and specifically listening. And so I was lecturing the kids really briefly on how essential it is to communicate our thoughts clearly and listen. Hi, Dara Phil. Hi, Jan. Do I play any sport or dance? No, I don't play any sports. And I dance for fun. I've played a lot of sports in my lifetime, though, but I'm not good at sports because I'm like the person you don't want on your team unless you want to have fun, because I don't really play to win. I played for the fun of the game. So when I was doing cross country and track and field and basketball, all these sports, nobody really wanted me on their team. They had to have me on their team because we were all kids, but nobody wanted me on their team because they knew I wasn't trying to win. So no, Jan, I don't. Hello, Kenny. Hi, V8 Supercar. Hi, Kylo Ren. Hi, Miss M. I just want to say hi to you guys. Hi, Sean. I want to say hi to all you guys. Jan, don't get blocked. I don't want to block you. Let's keep the questions. Only sports you're good at are combat sports. Well, if that's some, well, I don't do combat sports, but I can shoot a gun. I got arrest and firearm certified, and I was like second in my class. So yeah, I'm very good at shooting a weapon, but I can't shoot a shotgun. And I would really like to know how to shoot a shotgun because although they're slow, you know, slow as in there's a lot to loading them between shots and things like that, they do a lot of damage. So I would love to be able to shoot a shotgun. So anyway, hi, Stephen. Where have I been? So as you guys know, I live in the mountains, and in about a month, I'm going to get the hell out of the mountains, y'all, because life has been way, way too live up here in the mountains. It started snowing. It literally snowed like over 2 feet in less than 48 hours. So when you went outside, the snow was almost up to your knees. And because I live in the mountains, I thought we didn't even have a plower because nobody came out here to do anything. And then the power went off, you guys. I've never gone so long without power. And then you couldn't really leave to go anywhere because 2 feet of snow, like over 2 feet of snow had fallen. And it was literally like 3 days before anybody came to plow the streets. And they used a bulldozer, people. They didn't even use a snow plow. They used a bulldozer. Yeah, that is living in the mountains for you. 3 days snowed in. They use a bulldozer to get you out. Congrats to my skills, Kenny. I apparently am a natural at it because I had never shot a gun prior to that course, and I'm just a natural at shooting a gun, apparently. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, I got snowed in and my power went out, and I was like, oh, the power will come back on. No. I was like, as the day went on and night started to come, I was like, we still have no power. And that's when you realize making everything from scratch is a flipping problem. If I had lots of canned goods, or even if I canned, I don't know how to do canning. And if I had boxed food, I would have still been able to eat, but all of our food was fresh. So luckily we have fresh fruits and vegetables, but all our food has to be cooked. And so that was a bit of a problem. Oh, see, this is what I mean. Here, you can sit right there. You can't have another one.
No, I'm asking if Bella has one.
Nope, she can't.
But her dad has one.
See, I told you it's going to be casual, you guys. No, the answer is no. Put it back for me, though. Thank you, sir. Y'all, this is literally the middle of my day. So just bear with me. Anyway, so we were snowed in. They sent out a bulldozer. Why would, oh, so I can see the comments, but you know what? They don't move when I'm on my phone. That's weird. Oh, yeah, bad reception. Exactly, Miss M. So my phone, I have a cell phone, obviously, because I'm doing this live on my cell phone, but I don't use my cell phone because there's no reception in the mountains. So I literally pay a phone bill so that I can use the phone when I leave where I live, because where I live, there's no cell phone reception at all. No cell reception. It's pretty crazy. This is like a place where you really need a landline. And where I live, there's like this off the beat, like internet provider. Oh, hold on. Let me close my door. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, y'all. For those of you just arriving, I am in the middle of my day. My kids are online with Q Butters Institute doing their lessons for the day. And I thought I would go live. I think they're toward the end. I think they have like science left. Sorry, I'm reading your comments. Oh, hi, Father. You know what? I'll have to do it because I don't know how to do it on my phone. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you a wrench on that account on this phone because I don't know how to do it. I really don't. But I will. I'll come back to live and I'll do it after the live. A propane fire pit and plenty of propane tanks. Yeah. Honestly, it reached the point where I was going to take all my, okay, this is how dense I am, y'all. I was like, I bagged up snow to put it in my refrigerator when I could have just taken my stuff out of the refrigerator and put it in my backyard. Because I had 2 feet of snow and it was freezing cold outside. But I was like, what's going to happen to my food? Da, 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 da. Oh, Snap Turtle. Okay, so yes. If you go, so on all of my pages, on all of my videos, I put a link to Q Butters GoFundMe page. If you go there, there's a link to, because I would do it right here. I would just post the link for the homeschooling thing, Snap Turtle, but I can't because I don't know how to do that on my phone. So you can either wait until after this live, or you can go to any of my videos and click the link to his. Oh, I think there's somebody in here from the Institute. If you're in here from the Institute, can you just post the website? If any of you guys have Q Butters' website. So he has an in-person lessons that the kids do, but then the homeschoolers can call in and physically watch the class and like interact. My kids really love it. I'm going to start doing a little advert. He's not paying me for it or anything, but for the Institute, because I think it's good, especially if you just need a break. You know, like when you're homeschooling, sometimes you just need a flipping break from doing all the teaching yourself. And he's very thorough, or it can build on that. And it can also give you some alone time, because when you homeschool, you're always around your family. And that can be like very exhausting in and of itself. So yeah. Oh, you would love to support? Yeah, that's, well, so look after this video out, because I always put it up. Or you can go to any of my videos, and I always pin a comment with a link to how to support him. Oh, your wife would appreciate that? Yes. Because that's something you don't realize until you're a stay-at-home mom and you homeschool. You don't get a break. So they sit down for 3 to 5 hours. Well, I would say more like 4 or 5 hours. And, you know, they have breaks in between. You can sit in on the classes, things like that. But it does give you a break just from being the sole purveyor of all things knowledge. Okay, I'm not about to play kitchen set. Look what somebody brought me. Because I'm talking to people. Oh, so good. Thank you. This is kind of how I distract my youngest while they're working. Does he offer special needs homeschool? Your son has autism? I am not sure. He does, when you do the sign up, Miss M, he does ask if your child has special needs. So obviously there may be something that he does to work with those students, but I'm not sure. I can't speak to that. But you can go to the Institute's website and you can ask those questions, and he's very communicative. He'll talk to you about it. So yeah, so that's why this is very casual. So if I'm pretending to eat fake food, just roll with it, y'all. Don't just know why. But yeah, so I got snowed in. My power was shut off. Then it snowed some more and the power went off again. Then the power came on, but then my internet was down. So all that stuff was going on. And it was right about then that I realized that I don't want to live in the mountains, that I'm good. Oh, for sure, Miss M. I'm so sorry that I can't post the link in the chat. I feel really bad about that because I just don't know how to do it. So I'm sorry about that. I would be a little more efficient, but I just don't know how to do that when I'm live on my phone. I'm not positive. Move back to Texas? I don't think I'm going to move back to Texas. But I do think I need to get a break. So something I am going to be doing, and I'll be obviously taking you guys with me, is I am going to go and see some of my family in another state. And so we'll be at a home out there. So I'm going to take all you guys with me. Okay, let me close my door again. Hold on. Question. Be quiet so you can work. Oh. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Let's see. How about Atlanta? You know what? I did a piece on my Patreon about Atlanta. And I'm sorry to my patrons. I have like 5 patrons, y'all. We're over there struggling together. They're so good to me. Because I haven't put up any content for them either in about a week, maybe a week and a half. But Atlanta is literally crawling with diseases. I mean, I kind of don't want to support Atlanta because they call it like the Black Hollywood. And then like there's a lot of issues with the area. So although I know people love Atlanta, but I do want to go there at some point in time. I do just want to go there and see what there is to see. We're not talking about anything, Mister. How do I keep my hair so shiny? You know what? I have a women's only channel and you should come over there because I actually did a video and it's edited. I just haven't put it up yet where I posted my hair routine. But I condition my hair a lot and I put, not a lot, but I put a little bit of avocado oil in my hair. And that is how I keep my hair so shiny. It's actually dull compared to how it normally is because I haven't been able to deep condition as much as I want to lately, but that made me feel really good. So thank you so much, Cantina. What is it? Katina? I hope it's Katina. Katina? Am I butchering your name? I really hope I'm not butchering your name. I'm so tired of ruining everybody's name. I don't want to do that. Yeah, please do hit the like button. Thank you, Jerry, for saying that, because I think we have 19 likes, but there are like 80 of us here. Stop it. I mean, everywhere has damn disease. No. Like I said, I did a piece on this in my Patreon. Everywhere has disease. Atlanta has the highest rates of AIDS and some of the highest STD rates for a great deal of diseases in the country. So everywhere does have disease, but it's actually like there's like an epidemic down there right now. So I'm not trying to down Atlanta, Patrick. I'm just saying that's why I would be hesitant to like live in Atlanta. Thank you, Marco. Why would I care about those diseases? Because I think it's indicative of a culture, Mister. So it's not that I plan to go there and sleep with a bunch of people, but I think it's indicative of a culture, and it's probably not a culture that I'm going to be with. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just more I lean more like more conservative. So I may not be a good fit for Atlanta. Let's put it that way. Um, Granted, now I grew up in San Francisco, right? But Atlanta's not San Francisco. Oh, I didn't butcher your name. I hope that's why you're saying nope, Cantina. Katina. I want to say Katina. Katina. Even though it's Katina. Okay, I'm just going to stop before I make. Oh, Katina. Oh, Katina? Oh, that makes so much more sense now. Katina. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Okay. All right, good. California has the most opportunities. Well, since I'm from California, I'm obviously going to sing the praises of California. Yeah, lots of gays day. That's correct. There's a lot of homosexuality in Atlanta. There's a lot of homosexuality in California, but mostly just in the larger cities, mostly just in San Francisco. Atlanta is also a lot more populated. Really? Okay. Okay, so, but I think the stats are per capita. But Patrick, that is a valid point. That Atlanta is populated. I'm trying to think back to the stats that I was looking at, but I think the stats were per capita. I'm pretty sure they were per capita stats. Hi, solving the race problem. That's why you're not moving there, Salma? Makes sense. Yeah, it's just not the place for me either. Nah, Nikki. Every time I see your name, I think of my sister because my sister's name is Nikki. Well, her name is Nadine, but we call her Nikki. Nah, Nikki, is your name Nadine by any chance? Because that would be crazy. Oh, I've got to show love on your streams. I'm really bad at that. I'm bad at listening to other people's channels. Not because I don't like other people's things, but I'm never there when it's live a lot of the time, mostly because I spend a lot of time editing. And when I'm not editing, I've got my family, and then you guys know I will drop in on panels. But solving the race problem, I'm going to do that. So I apologize that I haven't done it. I'm going to try to make it for a live stream, an actual live stream, and listen to your streams. Right, New Eric King. That is so true. I have children that would be exposed to it. I cannot tell you. I took one of my kids, I can't remember which one it was. I took one of my kids to work with me in San Francisco. I was taking them to my office. Now, my office is in the financial district. Well, it's between like, okay, you guys aren't from San Francisco, so I can't really describe it to you, but there's a plaza like where Macy's and like all of, okay, how can I describe this? My office is between like where Macy's is and the financial district off of Sutter Street in San Francisco. So I was bringing one of my kids to work with me, and it was during the Gay Pride Parade, and I forgot. And we got off of BART, and everybody was half naked. And there were some actual, not like penises, because in San Francisco, you can be naked, but you just have to put like a nylon over your penis, but the nylon can be see-through. And that's what we walked up on. And I had to have a conversation with the child that I brought with me as to why it was that these people were naked in the street. So yeah, as a mother, I just prefer places that are a little more conservative. I don't want to have to worry about, I would not raise kids in San Francisco, for example. I love San Francisco. I would not raise children there. I don't even feel like children belong in San Francisco. It's strictly like an adult city at this point. And I feel like Atlanta, even though I haven't been there, could be the same kind of place. Oh, you're from the city, New Era King? So yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Well, you also know that it's changed a lot. So there's that, because you used to be able to have a family there. Oh, hey, Nikki Love, you're driving and listening? Dope. Am I on Patreon? Yes, I am, Dylan. But my Patreon may not be exciting. Do you guys see that? That's my robe, my red robe. Just ignore it. Just pretend you don't see it. Let's see. Memphis, Tennessee has top 10 STD rates in the nation as well. Really? Really, Patrick? I did not know that. Yes, I am on Patreon, Dylan. I don't know if I answered that, but I am. I have a lot of free content on Patreon, so you guys can go there and just enjoy my free content. You don't have to be a part of my Patreon, but if you want to be a part of my Patreon, please. Sorry, I have like this vision for my Patreon where we like do community efforts together. I have not realized this vision, but it would definitely, I would love to realize it. Oh, I don't know how to do any of this. Like, I want to be able to. There we go. I'll just put you on a timeout. I don't know what you did, Nathan, but you're on a timeout now. What did Nathan do? What did he say? Okay, don't tell me what he said. I'm trying. It's so hard for me to control anything on this phone. Sex trafficking is bad. I believe that. Traffic doesn't really bother me. I don't have like any road rage. So traffic doesn't really bother me. Day job bailout plan. Why is your name Day Job Bailout Plan? What is that about? Sometimes I wonder what possesses you guys to pick your names. Like, what are the stories behind these names? Let me know. Yes, San Francisco. There are a lot of gays there. Great music from the Bay. Underground hip hop for sure. Yeah, lots of Black people are moving down there. But what's the point of us collectivizing in one area if we're not doing anything worth doing, you know? Oh, your name is Naima? Is it Naima? Yeah, Naima, but Nikki is my nickname due to my middle name. Oh, okay. Oh, Nikki. Oh, I get it. Naima. I hope I'm saying it right. It's hard to have introductions with people on the internet, y'all, because you really have to decipher the pronunciations of everything. San Francisco is one of a kind. Ugh. They're trying to duplicate it, though. I wish they wouldn't. Yep. Snap Turtle. In San Francisco, there's a bunch of adults living like college students, 5 to 7 to an apartment, or not even a house, but an apartment, which is just weird. But the Bay is like that on the whole, just because of the tech boom and how they're pushing out. What are my thoughts of San Diego? I love San Diego. I think it's really beautiful. I think Sunset Cliffs is awesome. I lived there years ago when I was like young, but I'm old now, y'all. So, but back when I was young, I did live there. So yeah. Are you sleepy? Thank you, Steven Scott. I appreciate that. Most commute to work in San Francisco. Yes, they do. A 2-3 hour commute is nothing in California. But it takes, in rush hour, it takes hella long just to get to like San Diego. I mean, that ends up being like a 3-hour commute. Oh, yeah, whatever. What's the name of my other channel? Well, Audrey, let me tell you. because I'm such a unique person, I name my other channels Irene 2 and Irene 3. Y'all, that's the best I could come up with. One of them is a news channel and one of them is for ladies only. These mental health meds have you waking up too early. Oh my gosh. I don't believe in psychotropic drugs. I know. I think if you want to literally be a guinea pig, take psychotropic drugs. I think because I could do literally, I might. I might one day. I could literally do, hold on, let me plug my phone in. Darn it. Okay, in order to plug my phone in, apparently I gotta come this way. Oh, I wasn't trying to do that. Hold on. Let me plug it in. There we go. I am not a fan of psychotropic drugs. I could literally probably do like a whole thing on why it is I don't like psychotropic drugs, but I don't think that we should be taking them. I think that is a real dangerous thing to do, to be honest. Let's see. I hope you're kidding and you're not really on psychotropic drugs though. Like, I really hope. The hyphy movement. I'm not really into hyphy music, but I can see it has its place. Like sometimes you just really want to, but I'm gonna tell you something. When the words to a song are go stupid, like I can understand that there's a time where you just want to tune out and just dance. I enjoy that. But you know, you can't be on that steez all the time. What music do I listen to? I listen to scripture songs, but I like music of all kinds. I like Brazilian funk. I like Arabic music. I like all kinds of music. All kinds. I have a really eclectic taste in music because I like a little bit of everything. Yeah, the gays are kind of pushed into the Castro, that's true. But they're kind of stretching out because now gayness is part of like now what am I trying to say? When a neighborhood is being, why am I drawing a blank, you guys? Gentrified. Now gays living places is part of gentrification. Philly is a good fun place. I've heard good things about Philly too, SS. Hi, Cherie. Oh, I have an aunt named Cherie. I do. I love her. Yeah, yay area. Nika baby. Chicago. What are some straight black middle class neighborhoods in the Bay? None. Because all neighborhoods are too integrated for the most part. Thank you, Miss M. I really appreciate that. Rent is like $3,500 in the Bay. Rent is like way more than $3,500. You wish some rent was $3,500. Maybe in some controlled housing somewhere. Some, you know, subsidized housing somewhere. $3,500 is nothing. But if you mean like per person or something, or like if you're sharing with somebody, but rent is so high in the Bay. Like, let's say if you're in Palo Alto. Okay, so I had a friend that lived in Palo Alto. He paid 10 grand a month for his house, and my house could eat like 3 or 4 of his houses. It was like nothing. The Bay is crazy. And if you are paying $3,500, you're not getting much for that money. Let me tell you, you're living in somebody's basement somewhere. Somebody's something is going on. Jonah, am I on my way to an airport to take a plane back to Africa? Oh, Jonah, you might pick the wrong place to be trolling. You might pick the wrong place because a lot of Black people are very tech savvy and people think that you're invisible on the internet, but you're not. And some people have time for it. What's DMT, Phobos? What is DMT? I don't even know what that is. Thank you, Snap Turtle. I appreciate that. Stay true to 21 self. Oh, stay true to oneself. Oh, I am having a good day. Thank you. That's why I decided to do this today. Hey, Jaquez. There's no topic. I just wanted to come talk to you guys. I'm going to get back on the grind with like my videos and stuff, but I just wanted to come and talk to you guys real quick while I had a moment. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. Can one of my mods just block Jonah Oliver? Mr. Can you do that? Can you block Jonah from the channel? And we just don't even have to deal with him. Yeah, well, they want you to think it's normal, but most people don't approve of homosexuality and most people aren't homosexual, Patrick. They just, like, if you turn off your TV, it will stop seeming like it's normal. That's what I would say. But they're pushing to make it normal. Like, if they could force these people into your whole life, they will. They will. And you guys can block Nathan too while you're at it. Snap Turtle or Mr. You guys can block Jonah, and then you can also block Nathan. Thank you, Twin Man. I don't see you here yet, but what's up? Thank you, Antonio. Yeah, Las Vegas. I lived there too. I didn't like Las Vegas. I don't gamble, and there's nothing there. It's like the Strip and the mall, and then there, unless it's changed. I haven't been there in many, many years, but you could buy a mansion for $10K a month in Miami Beach. Yeah, that's mess is not happening. If you have money in the city, if you have a house in the city, you either got it way back in the day when property values were low and inherited it, or you're just old and just have had it for a while, or you're for real rich. And that's why I'm like, sometimes on YouTube, you see people with these giant houses and like all this stuff, and you think they have money. But I'm like, in some places, you could get a big house for no money. Some of these people you see in little tiny apartments actually have a lot of money, or condos or whatever, have a lot of loot. But if you live in certain areas, you're not going to get as much for your money. So that's why I'm not ever impressed, especially when somebody is like, you know, they live someplace where I know you could get a 5,000, 6,000 square foot house for a few $1,000s a month. I'm like, you're flossing, but there's nothing to the floss. Well, Dark Prophet, you already have my email, so you can email me if you want. I'm fine, Twin. Thank you for asking. George, I'm fine. Are you guys done?
No.
Okay, well, come to me when you're actually done.
I have a question for you.
No, go do your work.
No, he just disappeared.
Oh, he'll come back. He probably popped off.
And our friend wants to know if he can show our faces.
Oh, not today. Tell him tomorrow. Let's see. Oh, that is interesting. Oh, you want to do another Bible battle? For sure, we could do that. I love a Bible battle. Oh, you're in Ghana, the Tribalist? That's what's up. Good day to you too. Okay, now that I've caught up in the chat, let's keep talking. So that's where I've been for all this time. And there's a couple other things I want to talk about because I've been asked to talk about them, and because some people are just wondering what I feel about them. So first of all, on my Social Security video, a lot of people have been asking me, what is the benefit of not giving your child a Social Security number or a birth certificate other than them not being a slave, so to speak, or whatever. And what I can say to that, okay, sorry about that, you guys. That was my man calling me. Can we do a hangout on vaccines and homeschooling? Yes, we can, Snap Turtle. I would love to do that. I want to wait on the vaccination thing because George Macon, I don't know if he's done it yet because I did ask if I could be invited on for that one, is going to do vaccinations. So let me touch base with him first because I don't want to do it on this channel. If he's going to do it on his channel, I want to give him the courtesy of doing it first, and then I can do it on my channel. Hi, Deanie. Oh my gosh, your skin is flipping gorgeous. It really, really is. So anyway, yeah, on my Social Security video, I had some people who were about to give birth, and I told them I would address this, but I didn't want to make a whole separate video about it. So the biggest part of me advocating for not having a Social Security number or birth certificate really has to revolve around the fact that, sorry, let me look at you guys. It's starting to snow outside my window. That's why I was looking over there. So I'm sorry. Because I can't take any more snow, y'all. I'm going to get the heck out the mountains. I really feel we need to have as little interaction with the government as humanly possible. So that's number one. Number two, if you never have a Social Security number, you are never responsible for income taxes. The minute you have a tax identification number of any sort, you're responsible for the taxes related to that tax identification number. So if it's a Social Security number, then you have to pay personal taxes. If it's a tax identification number, then you have to pay business taxes. So when you hear people, these conspiracy theorists talking about how you aren't supposed to pay income tax, that is only true if you have never been issued a Social Security number. There's no backing out of that or anything like that that you can do. Now, the other thing I will say is this. You'll hear things like, so CPS can't take your kids if they don't have a birth certificate, things like that. Technically, that is true, and I could prove that with the law. And if you guys watch my Social Security video, you know that I took you to the government websites to flesh out those laws and what you can do in place of that. But the government's going to do what they're going to do. So in all honesty, I have to say the biggest part of not engaging the system is the less that you engage the system, the safer you and your family are. And that's ultimately what I would say. I would say you give over personal rights, like you give over the right to not be taxed. You give up the right to your anonymity so that you can have access to government benefits and privileges and things like that. And I just feel like the less contact that you have with the government, the better and the safer that you are, even though it does make your life a little more difficult. And so for those of you who haven't seen that video, you can go over to my no Social Security number or birth certificate needed video, and it's legit. My kids don't have birth certificates or Social Security number. I had a child that attended college for high school. He didn't use a Social Security number for that. So I'm not just saying stuff, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not a free man, and I'm not on any weird stuff. I'm not going to talk about uppercase, lowercase, this and that. Like, I don't get off into all that, but I did present some facts there that might be useful. So I wanted to address that because this particular family asked me to. And if you guys are listening, I hope that addressed your question. And if you're not listening, I will post the timestamp for this video so that you can get your question answered. Because I didn't want to make a whole separate video on it because I just don't know how many people. Can I make a video on Ilhan Omar? Yes, I can. I'll probably do it on my news channel and not this channel. What's my opinion on what, Twin Man? Hold on. Did I miss something that you said? I don't know what you're saying. Yeah, I can do one, Sheila. If I do it, what I do sometimes is I'll probably do that for my news channel, and then I will post a link for it on this channel. Why is this blurry? You can sit right there, but can you close my door?
I want something to eat.
Okay, well, I'll give you another snack, but you just ate something, so. But can you close my door? You can stay in here, but you have to close my door.
I want to stay in here. I
Okay.
want something to eat.
Okay, well, you're not getting another snack because you just ate something.
No,
You had two things.
Not a snack.
Okay.
That's another food talk.
Okay. Well, when the girls finish their lessons, you can help me.
I'm already there.
They're not. I can hear them talking.
I'm all just talking.
Why am I sitting here legitly arguing with this child?
Talking. They make sense. They were not doing nothing.
Okay, well, give me kisses.
They were typing things.
Okay, well, let them talk then. Let me know when they're done, okay? No, you can't say hi. No, you can't say hi. He wants to say hi to you guys.
I just want to help you.
No, bye.
But I'm done.
You can't help me. But you can close my door so we don't hear the girls' conversation. Okay, great. You can come sit right here if you want to hang out with me. Okay. He doesn't want to hang out with me. You don't think people should pay taxes? That's weird. Dillard, Pat, that's not actually weird that I don't think people should pay taxes. Okay, we'll sit right here. I don't think that it's weird that I don't think people should pay personal income tax. I think people are often ignorant of history with regard to personal income tax. Our country was founded that individuals don't pay income tax. The Supreme Court has ruled that individuals don't have to pay income tax. They cannot be taxed on their labor. They can't be taxed on income that is created through their labor. So the law of the land is that you can't be taxed in that way. So it's not weird at all. Our country was built so that corporation tax and those sorts of taxes are the taxes that we build infrastructure with, that we do schools with, and all of that. And it's kind of moved to a place where now we give corporations a lot of tax breaks instead of collecting those monies, and we are taxing individuals. And I don't think I went into the historical aspects. I just went into how you function in society and how you can legally do that now. But I might do a video that goes into the historical aspects of Social Security and personal income tax and actually pull up the Supreme Court cases and things like that, because the only people who have to pay income tax and the only people that have to have Social Security numbers are government employees. And that was created way back when we started the railroad system. That's when this conversation first started. And the Supreme Court shot it down twice. So so maybe, in all fairness, maybe it is weird that I think that. But if it's weird, it's only because I'm aware of the historical truth of it, and I'm aware of the current truth that we have a choice. So if you pay personal income taxes, or if you bind your children to paying personal income taxes because you've gotten a Social Security number for them, that is a choice. You choose to do that. I say you can choose to not do that for your children. You don't have to bind them to a life of servitude of giving up part of their money to the government, because there's no requirement for you to do that. But a lot of people don't know that, right? We go into the hospital, we have our babies, and we do what we do because everybody else is doing it. Nobody's ever actually read the Social Security Act. Nobody knows anything that they're doing. The hospital just offers you the opportunity to submit an application for these documents, and you just do it on autopilot. But I think we have to get to a place where we stop doing things on autopilot in society, especially things that we don't understand. Now, that's my personal opinion, but everybody can have, a different opinion. Yeah, Tiffany, I agree. So let me try to catch up in the chat, because I know that I'm really far behind. Yeah, you have to be self-sustainable. That's true, Snap Turtle. Snap Turtle said it's important to be completely self-sustainable and independent to not have a birth certificate, or a social security number for that fact. And that's the absolute truth. Your life you will need to be the author and responsible party in your life. You're not going to have the government to fall back on. You're not going to have loans and debt to fall back on. You are going to have to make your way through life as an independent person. And that's an experience a lot of us have not had to the degree that you will have to have it. Now, that doesn't mean you can't work in things. You can do all that. You don't need social security numbers or birth certificates to work. You don't need them to get passports. I discuss all this in that video. Sheila, dope. I'm glad you will. Why is everybody named after my family members? I have somebody in my family named Sheila too. Oh, my little boy. Yeah, he's smart, but he's a mess. He really is. Patrick, I have several sons. In fact, my two daughters are the only girls I have. I tell you guys all the time I'm old, and remember that my eldest child is like 23. So, I have several sons. In fact, I have all boys and only two girls because I have a lot of kids. Like, I've single-handedly repopulated the earth. My news channel, I don't know. 1D Forever. I don't know which one it is. But this is what I'll say about my news channel. You'll know it's my news channel because it has a black figure behind bars of the United States flag. So like the bars are made up of the stripes on the flag. So that's how you'll know. It doesn't essentially make you a corporation per se, Snap Turtle, but it doesn't make you a corporation per se, but I know what you mean by that. It does make you function as an individual in a way that is equivalent to how the person that is considered a corporation functions. So that's why I said, like, a lot of the freemen, I'm not saying you're a freeman, but a lot of the freemen, I prefer to use the terms that the government uses. So whenever I have these conversations, I don't like to have abstract conversations. I like to be able to go to the laws, go to the government documents in context and have these conversations. Sheila, there's some validity in that too. Sheila said you're exactly right. And also the Constitution doesn't apply to us, Irene Yvette, because we were considered 3/5 of a human being at the time of the establishment of America. Just how the Constitution doesn't apply to illegals. Well, Sheila, flip and tell the Democrats that, okay? Because they sure think, I mean, I don't even know why we have borders or laws at this point. Like, if we're going to do this anarchy thing, I'm going to need us to do it 100%, not just for the immigrants. We're just going to ignore all the laws and do what we want. Hi, Seek Truth, Not Attention. I saw your message about I've been MIA, and I have, because I got snowed in several times over. Hey, Jonathan, and thank you. Ooh, Philly is an open carry state. Oh, you're making me want to move to Philly. Yes, I'm all for open carrying. I feel like open carry states have to be the safest places. Like, I don't think there's anything like knowing 5 people are going to shoot you in the head if you try to break a law in their presence to keep people in check. Like, I feel we all should be armed. You know how much beef would be stopped if everybody knew that, you know, the 10 people next to you could just shoot you if you start cutting up? Really and truly. Oh, you changed your name a little bit. Long time no see. Back at you, the infamous Colonel Davidson. Okay, that was almost a tongue twister. Oh no, don't do that, Snap Turtle. Don't stand in it. You're a mess. Thoughts on ADOS? I already spoke on ADOS, Degenerate. Did you see my video? I don't have a problem with ADOS. I have a problem with division amongst the diaspora, but like I don't have a problem with the acronym. It's not a problem to me. Hi, Cyan. What is it? Cyan Z Entertainment. Hello. You love your guns out there, Cass? Is Tennessee an open carry state too? The Democrats have destroyed the black community. Who are you telling? Those people are crazy. Did she say America was better under Jim Crow? Well, I've heard others say it. I think the violence toward us was a problem, but I think the separation may be less of a problem. Oh, there's no topic. I'm just talking. I'm just coming up and talking to you guys. There's no topic at all. Hi, Kevin. There's footage/photo of Bernie Sanders being arrested and beat up during the civil rights era, and then he says he doesn't support ADOS. I was shocked, but then not really. Well, he's a Jew, isn't he? So I wouldn't be shocked. But this is what I find crazy. Bernie Sanders is a Jew, and his people are still going for reparations. I mean, they're in the middle of some stuff right here and now where they're talking about getting reparations from another country who was responsible for the trains that took them to the concentration camps. I mean, these Jews are getting reparations for everything. And I'm sure Bernie's not against that. But see, the thing is, we have to realize, like, this system is not for us. So that's why I said I'll support the ADOS movement. I'll support the move for reparations. But this is what I was saying on Nyla's stream when Q Butter and I were talking a couple nights ago. I was saying that reparations are paid to governments, not people. So nobody's going to cut you a check per se. So if we are in, and normally like with Jewish people, they went back to Israel, and then Israel is currently suing. They have been suing, and they are continuing to sue all these people who were involved in the oppression of the Jews for reparations. Like I said, the Jews are still suing people for reparations, like as we speak. The Jews are even paying out reparations for some stuff that they did. So these white people give reparations to each other all the time. But what we don't realize is that, let's say America awards us reparations. The reparations will be paid to the American government. Listen to what I'm saying here. Reparations are not paid to individuals. They're paid to governments. And then the governments use that money and they can disseminate it to individuals, or they can use it to build infrastructure, or the governments can choose to do what they want to do with that money. So if we stay in America and we accomplish getting reparations, the American government will pay itself. Are you guys listening to what I'm saying here? I feel like a lot of people have not really researched all of the people throughout the earth who have gotten reparations. And because they haven't done that, they don't recognize that if Black people get reparations in America, the money will go to America. And then America will decide what to do with that money. And they could very well decide to not cut anybody a check and to use that to improve communities or funnel that money into schooling and let it get picked off from the top until by the time it reaches to the bottom, it has no impact on the community at all. I think people hear reparations and they think somebody's going to give them a check, that you're going to get like a check in the mail for like a few $100,000 or something. That's not how it works. The check will go to the American government, and the American government will do what they want to do with the money. Just like every other reparations check in the history of the earth has been cut to a government. And it's the government that represents the people seeking reparations that gets the money. So do you see what I'm saying here? It's kind of like if a judge beats you up and burns your house down, and then you go into that judge's courtroom while still living under, let's say you live on a judge's land, okay? You live on a judge's land in a shed out back, and that judge goes out and burns the shed down, and you still live on that judge's land in your burnt up shed, and then you go into the courtroom and the judge presiding over your case is the same judge whose land you live on and who burnt down your house. And when he gives his ruling, he's going to pay himself. That's what we're doing right now. Like, that's literally the reparations conversation that we're having here in the United States. So I just think, you know, people don't recognize if reparations are awarded to Black people in this country, because we're still in this country, the government will be paying itself. And then the government will be able to go and sue everybody else that was involved in the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade. And then those people will pay the United States government too. So what we're really on is a crusade for the American government to get money. Because they're not cutting us checks. That's not how it works. When reparations get approved, they don't start giving individual people checks. That's not how it works. But I think everybody thinks that's how it works. Hey, NBA Unloaded. Yeah, Cass, whites have to be safer. They're more safe open carrying more than Blacks, to be real. Hi, BMT. What's that? I would invite you on, but I don't even know how to do it when I'm on my phone. I can't, I have no clue. Well, SS, yes. The problem with the government getting reparations is that it's the government that enslaved us. I agree. But nobody's going to leave America and go back to an African country so that they have enough American Blacks there to sue people for reparations. See, because that sounds like Pan-Africanism, right? But the reality is that's kind of how it works. And if you don't believe me, I just strongly encourage you guys to just do a Google search about reparations paid out throughout history and see that they are only paid to governments, and see that the governments, it's not like what the Jews in Germany didn't sue itself for reparations. German Jews didn't sue Germany for reparations. Israel sued Germany for reparations. And I could do a whole video on that. Actually, I might do a whole video on this. I might go through all the people on earth who have ever received reparations so that we could really have this conversation. Reparations is a form of selling out, in your opinion? Possibly. I mean, I don't like the pandering to white people. Like how people were going hard for that little white woman talking about some reparations. Like all she had to do was say that she agreed with reparations and everybody went crazy. If we have to pander to weirdos like her who want to pray over Black people and having real life get out moments and stuff like that, like, y'all, they could take that money and shove it, because that's crazy. Like, we can't be doing all that. We can't be shucking and jiving for every single individual that just says they're for reparations. Every white person that will be part of our, you know, that will jump onto the cause, we have to do a little jig for them. You know, like even Yvette Carnell said, if we want American whites to give us this money, I had a whole problem with that whole conversation. I don't have a problem with Yvette, but like the statement, if we want American whites to give us this money, we can't be basically unified with other Black people. I was like, I did a video on it, y'all. I'm not going to digress. But I was like, if we want American whites to give us, really? Yeah, Katina, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Hey, Kitty, thank you. No. Teray, because that's the only part of your name I can pronounce. He said, we can safely assume that resource will not be used specifically for Black people. We can believe that. Yes, because they won't have to use it specifically for us. And any resources, let's say if we got reparations that the American government did allocate, you know how they do that trickle down stuff where all the rich people at the top get all the money, and by the time it hits the hood, you know, the program means nothing, is ineffective, it's just a glory program. But they're sure as hell not going to give reparations to themselves. You know, the government's not going to give blacks reparations, cut itself a check, because that's how it's going to work, and then cut us checks. It's not like income tax. It's not like a class action lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're treating this like it's a class action lawsuit, but it's literally not. Tiffany, that is how the Jews got reparations. And it's not just the Jews, because other people have gotten reparations throughout time. But their country of origin is the person that petitions for the reparations. That's how that works. So we would have to go, we don't know our countries of origin. We're very mixed up, but it doesn't really matter. We would have to go back to areas and have a strong representation there. And we would have to be considering ourselves displaced. So for example, the Jews have sued for reparations on multiple things. It's not like reparations is a one-off. I think people think it is. But let's say if we were serious about reparations, this would be the most pragmatic way to go about it. Most pragmatic. I'm just saying there's many ways to skin a cat, but this would be the most pragmatic. It would be to go to an African country with enough numbers for them to sue America for reparations, for them to sue the people who provided the wood for the slave ship, for them to sue the people who participated in the various stops, like along the way, for them to sue the people who provided the metal for the chains that they wore. That's what the Jews are doing. They're suing the people who provided the trains to train the people into the concentration camps. They're suing the people who provided the gas ovens. They're suing the people, like they're suing everybody. And that's what we would do too. But see, Israel is doing the suing. The Jews that were in Germany being killed in concentration camps, their descendants are not living in Germany and asking the German government for reparations. Israel is doing that for them. Were those people German citizens? Yes, but they refer to them as displaced Jews. So I don't know. Like I said, I could do a whole video on this in a more comprehensive way where I show you guys like actual case study of people who have gotten reparations and how they went about it, so that we could have a real conversation on all the times on earth that reparations have been awarded and why is kind of crazy that we're not modeling our pursuit of reparations after this. But look, y'all, I don't have a platform like Yvette Carnell. I'm not doing lives with like thousands of people or anything like that. Nobody's hashtagging any hashtags I've coughed up. So, you know, I'm not going to try to, I don't want to poop on anybody's parade, but I definitely think that people, we get behind things that are easy to get behind. So hashtagging is an easy thing to do. But I think when we say we're for reparations, the very, very least that we should do is research people who have gotten reparations and what they did. Because if it worked for them, it would be pragmatic for us to use that pattern. Do you know what I'm saying? And then if what we're doing is not looking like what all the other successful people did, it's probably not the right way to go about it. But y'all, we could do it this way. Like y'all do. I'm not going to try to stop anybody, y'all. I've given out the bill number. Y'all can click on the link I provided in my community tab, and you can, if you're serious about reparations, you can get on the phone and you can start calling these states people and harassing them, and they will, you know, they'll sponsor the bill. Hey, Water. Well, Praises said there are many corporations that profited from slave trade. How about presenting a lawsuit class action? So that's a form of reparations. But see, like I said, I agree with you. Many corporations participated in it, but that's normally done by a country. So like I said, currently, right now, as we speak, The Jews are suing the country whose corporations provided the trains to transport the Jews to the concentration camps. But it's not a class action lawsuit. You follow what I'm saying? That's not how you do it. So I think a class action lawsuit is a good idea, but I think that would get very expensive and very messy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because then are all the people that are represented, how do we know that they are the victim? Do you know what I mean? How can you put a number on it without being able to prove that? Things like that. So it enters all this other muddy area. Like I said, if I had to pick, I would pattern the movement after the many, and it's not just the Jews. I'm just picking on the Jews, but y'all, like I said, the Jews are paying reparations to people too. So white people pay reparations to each other all the time. And if we aren't going to bother looking at how they get reparations from each other, then I don't understand, what we're doing here. Since it's white people we want this money from, apparently. Bye, Kenny. SSM. I mean, I don't know. There are more than white people in this country, so. Oh, thank you so much, Cass. I appreciate that. It was a real life get out moment, Sean. That woman was screaming bloody murder. And I had people in the comment sections trying to dismiss it like that was normal. I was like, this is nothing normal about this. I don't care what reparations this woman says we should get. This weird woman is someone we don't need to be playing with. She's trying to pray over Black people and do all kinds of weird stuff. Casting spells and all kinds of bizarreness. Who can do it? Well, Sheila, they're already doing that, right? Sheila said they will say Black males need to be exterminated, as well as taking the fathers out of the household, as they have done before, and replace us with Mexicans. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't personally, like, white people have been getting reparations from other white people for decades. I don't personally think there's going to be financial vindication for us that is going to lead to real world vindication for us using a system that whites created to keep themselves in power. But I recognize that a lot of our community has not reached a place where they are willing to come to grips with that. So I support this, and I'll do what I can to be supportive of this. But when the time comes to do something other than pandering to a system that needs to be disrupted comes, I just hope we can get on the same page with that mode. You just caught your boy. Jerry, you're a boy? I don't even know what that means. Russell Brand did an interview with Candace Owens. Oh, I'll watch it. Cass, thank you. So reparations is actually Pan-Africanism. Well, not the way these people are trying to do it under the ADOS movement. I mean, can we call ourselves ADOS and then still... I mean, you don't have to. You could try to sue for reparations in the United States. I'm just saying that the United States would pay the government that's representing the people who want reparations. You know how, like, Israel represents the Jews from Germany who want reparations, so the United States pays Israel? So if we're in America, America is going to pay itself. So the only other alternative would be for us to be somewhere else. And then that government would get the money. So, I mean, it's a rabbit hole. That's right. Blue Black said we will also be suing Jews for financing the slave trade because the Jews were all up in that. And mind you, most white people didn't own slaves. I always hear people say, like, your ancestor probably owned my ancestor. That's not true. Most white people during slavery were poor, white trash. The ones that owned slaves had money. But make no mistake that all white people benefited. This whole country benefited from the slave trade. And we could go further than slavery. We could ask reparations for the 100 years of lynching. We could ask reparations for the many Black businesses that were burned. We could ask reparations for the 3 Strikes bill. We could collectively ask reparations for all kinds of crap. But it's just a little weird to do that in a country that committed all those crimes against us, especially when reparations are paid to governments. And then it would be our government doing, like, you know, getting the money and doing the dissemination of and allocation of those funds. But like I said, I think most people believe reparations means you're going to be waiting by the mailbox to get a check. And that's just not what's going to happen. That's not how reparations work. Not at all. And I think we really need to understand that. And I think a lot of people would start to think more clearly about this reparations topic. Right, Tiffany. Tiffany said, I meant your country of origin actually brings the lawsuit. Exactly, Tiffany. You're right. Well, Jews are getting reparations, though, Jaquez. So they're doing that. Hi, B1 for life. I think my girls' lessons are over, but they're just talking to the other students right now. So I'm going to talk to you guys. JKRZ said, I wonder if the Native Americans were gifted reservations and casinos as their reparations. I think gifted is an interesting choice of words. So when I said, have you ever heard of a person being in a country that was the executor of the crime against them, seeking reparations from that country while they were still in that country, people pointed out Native Americans. I will say this. This land is their land, right? But so first and foremost, anything that went on with Native Americans, I think, is a bad example. But I think we can talk about Native Americans real quick, because this is going to tell you exactly how white people are. White people acknowledge that Native Americans, this is their land, hence the term Native American, right? But their solution was not to give these people their land back. They were like, no, we came here, we massacred your people, we brought our diseases and purposely handed out blankets because we knew it would kill you guys off. And we're not going to give you your land back. Oh no, we're going to keep power here. What we're going to do is we're going to make you stay in little tiny corners of your own land. And we'll kick you down a little bit of check to the tribe. Now, mind you, keep this in mind. What they did with Native Americans is they didn't give them their land back. They gave them little pieces of land, insignificant pieces of land throughout America. And those lands function like countries. This brings us back to the countries thing. And the reparations are paid to the tribe leaders, i.e., the leaders of those countries. So Native American is a very unique example, but technically it's still a country receiving reparations from another country, because Native American is their land is sovereign land. And I know this for a fact because it's fact. It's like real history. And I'll talk about that. I'm going to do this reparations video. But also because I've told you guys many times, there are Native Americans in my family, like, who live on reservations right now. So that's really how it works. They have their own laws. They're like little countries, the reservations. So the Native Americans are a really bad example. And if anything, it shows us that white people are not about doing anything that makes sense. Okay. How do you steal somebody's house and then go put them in a room in the house and say, as long as you stay in this room, you own this one room in this house? I'm going to kick you down a little change and you can be sovereign. Y'all really think about that. If they would do that to the people whose land they acknowledge it is, like, yes, this is your land. Yes, we stole your land. And how we're going to rectify that is to let you be a sovereign country in a little piece of your own land. Y'all, what do you think Black people have coming? I'm just asking you. They've stolen a whole freaking country. White people have stolen a whole country from Native Americans. And their idea of retribution is not to give them their land back, but to give them little pieces of land and let them be tiny countries within the bigger country that is America. I mean, you got to think about that. That's some crazy stuff. That's absolutely crazy. But nevertheless, the Native Americans are not a good example to use because technically tribal land is its own country. You know what I'm saying? And those reparations are paid to the leaders of the tribal lands because America doesn't own the Native American land. So for when people bring up the Native American thing, again, I think that's like a thing where we don't quite understand how this thing works. But the Native Americans just prove my point, which is that reparations are paid to countries. We are the only people in the history of the earth who don't have a country seeking reparations from another country for us. Do you follow what I'm saying? Like, we're doing some stuff that has never been done in the history of reparations ever on earth and expecting to get results. We're doing something and it's just not how the process works. But like I said, I'm going to do a whole video on this where I go into specifically who on earth has gotten reparations and how they got it, to really just paint a picture of how like really off base we are. Like, we have our Stockholm syndrome is so real right now that we are literally acting crazy. We have collective Stockholm syndrome. I promise you. I promise you we do. That's the only way we would stay in our abuser's house and ask our abuser to retribute us for the abuse that they imposed on us. Really? Who does that? Do you go to the person who smashed your face into the cement and demand that they punish themselves for smashing your face into the cement? Y'all, I'm just saying. Katina, I would have to research that. Katina said, I read somewhere that the largest lynchings were of Italian Americans down south, and Italy or their families got paid reparations. Possibly. I can't speak to that. Fillmore 46 said, the entire system needs to be dismantled in order for anything beneficial to happen for Blacks. Real talk. I mean, but people, y'all, it's called a social revolution. It could be political. It could be social. I did videos on this, y'all. But that's ultimately what needs to happen. It is a trick job. I mean, it is a trick bag day job bailout plan. I agree. Supa Truca said, ADOS is not Pan-African. I mean, I'm not saying that it is. ADOS is just an acronym that means American Descendants of Slaves. ADOS doesn't have to go hand in hand with or without Pan-African. You could be ADOS and be a Pan-Africanist. Why not? You could be an American descendant of slaves and be Pan-African. Why would the two things be mutually exclusive? If you're an American descendant of slaves, but you want to go back to Africa, do you suddenly not become an American descendant of slaves? I don't I don't understand quite what you're saying. Maybe you can expound on that. Can somebody time out Kevin Deaton? That would be great. Because Kevin, you're tripping. The Jews didn't get a check, Rosie Harris. Israel got a check. Now, some of the money that Israel got, they gave to some Jewish people, but not all of it. But the Jews didn't get a check. Israel gets the checks. And that's what I'm saying. Well, Fillmore 46, they do owe us for a lot of things, but the question is, what do they owe us? You know what I'm saying? What do they owe us? Some paper? I know what I think they owe us, but I'm not going to say it on YouTube. Some Black people will say we are Native Americans. Well, nevertheless. Right, exactly. It was their land before the $5 Indians. Yeah, so Midtown Pookie, the tribal leaders get... So the Midtown Pookie said, I disagree, Irene. Navajo Native Americans received $10,000 a month in reparation for a 10-year period. First of all, that's not very much money. But also reparations are paid to the tribal leaders. They don't go to the individuals in the tribe. That's not how it works. Now, individuals do get checks, but the checks don't come from the American government like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, exactly, Praises. Praises said the Native Americans had to be declared sovereign by the USA. And that is what I'm saying. That's why nations sue on behalf of people who need reparations. Because sovereign nations sue other sovereign nations on behalf of their people. We're saying we're America's people and we want America to sue itself on our behalf. That's essentially what we're saying. Right, Tiffany Johnson said a country within a country. Exactly. Snap Turtle, can you block Gunter Rawl? Can you just block him? Period. Hi, Goodness Rated. Well, JKRZ said, I hate even talking about history because the winners rewrite history. Well, that's why I said, you know, to me, reparations looks very different. So I'll skip over the part I can't say on YouTube and just say reparations, as Q Butter said, would include getting all of our artifacts back. Reparations would be tearing down all the Europeans' ancient buildings and erasing them out of history. That would be reparations. Reparations to me looks so much bigger than a check. Okay, looks so much bigger than money that can become obsolete. Reparations to me looks very different, you know, but we want to focus on some money, some change that we think we can buy some stuff with. And so, I mean, okay. But I just personally, y'all, well, JKRZ, the government puts us into debt because they're in with the banks. And that is how society works. It creates indentured servants. So, exactly. Seek Truth, Not Attention said, our reparations check without our own nation would go straight to the U.S. government to distribute as they please. Not a good idea. She's on point. It's true. That's how it works. I just don't think people know how it works. So that's why I'm definitely going to do a reparations video so we can discuss reparations throughout time, throughout the globe, so that we can really understand how reparations work and how our positioning is problematic. Katina said, every time I watch a special or documentary on Native Americans, it shows them not doing very well, from sex abuse to alcoholism, possible propaganda. But what would it look like for us with our issues? Well, I'll say this. Yeah, there's a lot of alcoholism on tribal land. There is. I can definitely say the men who are Native American in my family who still live on the reservation drink. My uncle, I'm not going to say his name because I love him. And he gave me many, many, many very, very beautiful cousins who went on to have more beautiful cousins, was an alcoholic. Like, he was a straight, every time he came around, he was definitely had been drinking. He smelled like liquor. So that is true. I don't think that's necessarily propaganda because I've definitely experienced that with my family who live on reservations. ADOS separates us from other Black people on Earth. Pan-African unites them all, said Supa Truka. So I think you can call yourself ADOS, just like Jamaicans call themselves Jamaican and Ghanaians call themselves Ghanaian. And I don't have a problem with the acronym. It's just an acronym. But the spirit that Yvette Carnell is trying to bring with that, which is fragmentation of the diaspora, I have a problem with that. I don't care what we call it. We call ourselves anything. I call myself Gullah. I call myself Geechee. We call ourselves ADOS. I don't think that matters, but I think the vitriol toward other Blacks, that's a bit weird. That's a problem. That's a problem. I don't think, if American Blacks want to go for reparations on their own, because every time I say that, American Blacks are like, those other Black people can't have our money. And I'm like, dude, it's not even about anybody getting your money. Like, fine, go be by yourself, ADOS, and go for reparations. What does that have to do with disliking other Black people? And then I don't like how Yvette is always blaming Black immigrants who only make up like 2 or 3% of the immigrant population. I don't like how she is always trying to blame them for taking advantage of laws that white people created. Why wouldn't you be mad at the person who facilitates the law to give anybody an advantage over you, other than the people who just simply take advantage of what laws are available to them as immigrants? Because make no mistake, these laws benefit white immigrants way more. Where is the vitriol for the Mexicans? Half the immigrants are Mexican. Literally, I'm not just saying that to be like spiteful. Like, that's actual real numbers. Almost all immigrants to this country are white. Black immigrants make up like 3% of all the immigrants that come to this country. Where's the heat for the American government, the white-led American government who created laws to allow basically white immigrants to step all over the Black population? We're really going to pick on the little 3 funky % of Black immigrants that come to this country and try to beef with them? Really? What's that saying? Don't hate the player, hate the game? Hate the game. Stop playing the game. Their game sucks, okay? It really, really does. It's kind of a flawed acronym. Y'all, people can call themselves whatever they want. Call yourself a pretty purple flower for all I care. I mean, I don't care what people call themselves. Just don't attach any weird sort of, stuff to what you're doing is how I feel. Don't attach a bunch of weird stuff to what you're doing. So with that said, anyway, what time is it, y'all? It's like 4:28. It's like 4:28. So I'm going to get off of here. I just wanted to come and talk to you guys. I'm going to start putting out content more on all 3 of my channels. I know that I've been kind of MIA for like a little bit over a week. And I did a few panels, but I wasn't doing anything on my own channel. And that's just because, like I said, I got snowed in, Then after I was snowed in, I realized I must get out of the mountains because that mess was crazy, y'all. It was crazy. And my kids were trying to run out there and play in the snow. And I'm like, it's not cute when you can't get out the mountains. Okay. When you're waiting 3 days for somebody to come with a bulldozer to bulldoze snow. That just stopped being a fun situation for me. Well, SSM said Yvette Carnell is coming from a place of anger that our labor and blood built this country, but African immigrants benefit from and then move with white supremacy. American blacks move with white supremacy too. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just a sector of black people, period, who move with white supremacy. That's history. We can expect that. It's not because they're African. Oh, are you guys done? Okay. No. So anyway, my girls' class is over. So I'm going to go ahead and go. I told you guys I just was really trying to talk to you guys whilst their little class was going on. So I'm going to go ahead and go. But I wanted to just come and talk to you guys because I hadn't in a while. Hi, Reggie. You're so late because I'm about to say bye, Reggie. But yeah, so I will have some more structured videos and things coming up over the next few days. But I wanted to talk to you guys first, just so we can have some time to talk to each other because I know that it's been a while. You want your snack? You don't get the check. All right, I gotta go. Crisis are coming. I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, wait, if I can end it. Oh, I don't know how to end it. Oh, yeah, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I do.